Thank you for being back. And if you just joined us, you're still on to Enterprise Weekend, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's get to our conversation for today. Family members of soldiers killed during recent battles against insurgents in the northeast have mourned the death of their loved ones, urging the government to put an end to the bloodbath in the region. The relatives who spoke to Saturday Punch in separate interviews also called on the federal government to demonstrate genuine commitment to the fight against insurgency by providing adequate arms and ammunition, improving the welfare of military personnel, and caring for the families of fallen soldiers. The families spoke after Monday's attack on a military base in Marte, Borno State, which claimed the lives of 5 soldiers. Boko Haram insurgents have invaded the forward operating base in the early hours of the day, overpowering the soldiers on duty, looting weapons and escaping with military vehicles. However, the defense headquarters said troops repelled the attack. Now let's have our conversation. Joining us right here in our studios is Barrister Van Sofeli, a barrister at law, public affairs analyst. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here.
Well, good morning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's get talking on this particular matter. One of the questions I think I would love to ask on behalf of Nigerians, especially teeming youths, is, do you think it's necessary any longer for anyone to desire to be part of the military in Nigeria?
Well, as it stands now, it is said that the struggle of man begins at birth. Okay, but I think also that death is the end of all struggles. To join the military now, as it stands, where you have no insurance policy, you have to sign off your life for the advancement of the country, for the protection of the territorial integrity of the country. You have no insurance, you have no, there's no proper plan to combat insurgency, okay? And even when the plans are there, they are sabotaged, okay? There are sabotages here and there, saboteurs here and there who are militating against any plan, if there is any, to actually exterminate insurgency. So if you look at the parameters carefully, those who are calling for the federal government to put an end to it, that is what it has come to. That is what they must do. Okay, because people now are discouraged from joining the army. In the days of yore, it is a thing of honor and pride to be in the Nigerian army, given the respect and accolade that is alluded to that profession or adventure. But today it's becoming more like a misadventure because the federal government is not serious about the war against insurgency. Federal government is not serious. The US have been indicted not too long ago. So many persons have been indicted. So many organizations in the north have been indicted for all that. The soldiers themselves, the senior officers themselves have been indicted. So many indictments. The federal government have not deemed it fit to undertake a proper investigation into why the insurgents persist. We saw a video recently where an helicopter came, landed in the bush and was distributing arms and ammunition to some group of persons.
Well, it has been cleared, really, Barrister, because the Nigerian police have come to clear that, to say that it was actually the Nigerian police doing that for
vigilantes.
Yes, exactly.
Vigilantes.
So that particular video, that's what.
So
it
must
was
they
for.
use the helicopter to go and distribute a rifle? Well, if that has been refuted, fine. But that's not the first video I have seen. I've seen some videos in the past. Okay, well that notwithstanding, these Boko Haram people, how do they get arms and ammunition? Because many of them are not well placed. They are just foot. If you see them, you know that these are messengers. Yes. These are messengers. Many of them are in their 20s. So, I mean, you couldn't have a 20-year-old afford the AK-47. One AK-47 over 5 million naira. So where did they see it? So these are messengers. Who are the people behind this thing? Who are the people behind this thing? What is the objective? What is the agenda? Are these guys politicians? Are they Islamic fundamentalists? Is it the attempt to Islamize the country, or what exactly is the agenda? When you say Western education is evil, what is the agenda? Okay, so by now we thought that the federal government should have gotten to the root and profile a lasting solution to the problem. But no, the entire nation, the problem in the entire nation is now becoming like a problem in Jos, because that of Jos, Plateau State, nobody knows the cause. Some say it's political, some say it's ethnic, some say it's cleansing. Some said, now the Boko Haram itself is becoming almost like that. We don't know what exactly their agenda is, other than what we were first told. And it was actually the media that couched that.
Yes.
You understand? Even the name, it was the media that couched the name. Okay, their own name is one long Islam, so we don't know what that means. Yeah, so just to make it easier and accessible, the media gave that name. But till date, they are still there doing havoc. In Medugri, they attacked, that's the case.
Yes, the Marte case. Yeah.
They attacked a barrack, you understand? In those days, unheard of that, strangers will come and attack a barrack where you have. In those days, if you are threatened by anyone, any organization, any group, any person, even those who are owing then, because I grew up in the barrack, they used to come into the barrack to take refuge.
True.
All they need to do is to explain to the officers that, see, I'm owing this money, they are threatening my life. They will bring you in. You understand? Somebody threatening me, they will bring you in. They give you a place to stay. Sometimes they will follow the person to the place where whatever they are threatening the person. That was Nigeria before. But today, you don't even know who is who.
So do we blame the civilian rule that we currently practice today? Because I remember during the military time, this is unheard of.
Yeah, it's unheard of, but we had it too during the military era. When Buhari, yes, when Buhari took over then, when Buhari was, we saw how it was dealt with.
Yes,
it was within months.
Yes.
They were thrown out. Yes. Okay, so that's military might. And all that. So what has changed is the question. I don't know what has changed. Some person said that the military are profiting from it. Somebody said it was because of the budget on defense. Some people said, some politicians, when Goodluck Jonathan, that's in 2015, they went and brought in some foreigners from different criminals from the Sahel, different extraction from Mali, from all over the whole place, Niger and the rest of them, brought them into the country to come and fight against if Jonathan refused to relinquish power. After he relinquished power to them, those guys now, they didn't know what to do with them. They allowed them to fester uncontrollably, having empowered them in ways that are unimaginable. Okay? Now, they started taking over territories when they were of no use any longer, and started going to villages, killing people, raping people, breaking down things and all that. So it calls for that. It calls for those who want to join the army now. There's a publication last week, I saw last week, early this week, that came out. They are still asking people to come and join the force. Okay, people are for dragging, because where is the safety? Where is the insurance? Where is they have seen how they treat those who lost their life, how they treat their families. They throw them out of the barrack. So is it under that condition that people will be motivated to want to join the army, to do what exactly there? So those are questions that the federal government need to answer. Is it wise to join the army in the light of what, the kind of condition they put them?
Now, Barrister, as much as we would not want to be ethnocentric in this particular matter, if you take a look at insurgency, it is coming more from the northern part of Nigeria. And one would wonder, why is it so? Secondly, why is it that leaders from that region are not really doing anything that much? The last time we had such sort of a criminal tendency was after the Nigerian Biafran Civil War, when everyone literally had a weapon to themselves. But of course, 5 to 10 years after, all of that, it disappeared. So why do you think the northern part of Nigeria, especially leaders, are not really so?
The northern part of Nigeria has been highly ravaged by this instability, and they are doing nothing about it. In their Northern Governors Forum, what do they discuss there exactly? We don't know. Okay, they are really not doing anything significant. I mean, to combat the menace, because that is from where the major crisis is coming from. But they were the one agitating for Northern Development Commission.
Yes.
Okay, just because you have the NDDC, which objective is clear and all that. There's a Northern Development Commission, you now have it.
And in addition, there's a ministry for them, the Ministry of Livestock.
Yes, there's another ministry again. Okay, but in all this, the governors have not done anything remarkable for me. They've not, apart from the governor of Borno State, who has shown leadership, but had no support really, because there's no cohesion. There's no cohesion. The governors are not working in cohesion. They are not working together in concert to exterminate the Boko Haram menace. They are not, because if they were, even though they don't have an army of their own, they should be able to join forces with the Nigerian army to do something very important. If the soldiers are complaining that they don't have this, they don't have that, they don't have this, they don't have that, you can actually go and provide those things for them. Yes, and somebody will argue that even if you want to provide anything for them, you have to take it through the hierarchy of the army. And in that same case, it may not go down. Okay, but I think there must be a way out. There must be a way to interview the soldiers one-on-one to find out where their weaknesses, what are their challenges, what are their immediate and remote challenges. They must be well motivated. They must be well taken care of. If you take care of them effectively, they can fight this war to finish. But if anytime they go out, every outing they are stranded. Every outing they are stranded. When they came to the barracks, they took some soldiers away.
Yes, they did.
They took some soldiers away. You can imagine taking soldiers away. You can imagine the kind of excruciating condition they will subject them to when they finally get to their destination. So it's not a good thing. It's a very sad commentary. It's a sad commentary to say that our soldiers are losing grip. They are losing the war. Then the bandits that are untrained, to combat and all that, they are the ones now, like where I said in a sister TV station when we were talking about the Tucano jet, the 6th Tucano jet we took delivery of. Okay, how much of use have we deployed it? Even when the US warned then that these Tucano jets are dangerous, they must be used. We must identify spots and declare them terrorists before it must be used. At several locations, the Nigerian army had used, the Nigerian Air Force had hit wrong targets with these fighter jets. And why, as if that is not enough, we have seen videos, we have seen military formation and gadget they have used to spot out where these people are in their different locations. Okay, but why is it that they are still there? On several occasions, we're told that they killed their leader. That's the one that took over from the first one. Yes. So why are they still attacking? What is wrong with this whole fight? Who is making it difficult for the Nigerian government to defeat the insurgents? Now,
looking at feedback from soldiers, I'm happy that you mentioned it as part of your submission here. Looking at feedback, I do not know the operational mode of the Nigerian military, but I know loyalty is like the numero uno when it comes to working within the military ecosystem. But why do you think that the military would frown at a soldier who comes up to say that we are not well armed to fight the insurgents? And when such a person comes out, he becomes the target. It's either he is jailed or he is taken out of the military. Something dreadful happens to them.
Yes.
So why do you think it's so?
It's against the military ethics for anybody to speak. The military have spokesmen. Anybody, any soldier cannot just speak. It's not allowed. Because if you make it that way, you are going to make you are going to make it porous. They are going to appear very disorganized and unserious and unprofessional. So in the military ethics, they have spokesmen. It is a spokesman of the military that is allowed to give out information to the public. So even though these ones who do it, they are doing it out of frustration.
Yes.
Yes, they are doing it out of the fact that whatever should happen, they will be court-martialed. And most times when soldiers are court-martialed, it's almost like you are charged, you are guilty as charged.
Yes.
Okay, from the outset. Okay, they'll court-martial them and sometimes put them in guard room, put them in prison, do whatever it is the penalty is for, they call it insubordination in the army. But it is difficult to really uncover what exactly is going on. Is it true that their budget is released fully to them? Because from the figures we see yearly, their budget is humongous. It's big. It's very big. And I learned that they release up to 90% of that budget. So if budget performance of the military is about 90, 80%, 90, 80%, it is expected that that should reflect in the war. That should reflect in the progress made in fighting or combating the insurgents. But it seems not to be so. The game seems not to be so. Why the budget keep increasing, we still have the fights increasing. So somebody is doing something wrong somewhere. The allegation may not be totally false that people are profiting from it and don't want it to end. It may not be totally false. So that is why investigation is required. There must be investigation into who is doing what. Okay, because I don't think, for example, the U.S. Army will be managing resources in a way to keep a war ongoing just because they want to, just because somebody is profiting from wrong. I don't think so.
Even from the Ukraine war that it has been alluded that that the mission is to keep the war going.
Yeah, for other reasons, for some political reasons, but I don't think it's because of the financial gain. I don't know, but our own case actually defies all solution. There must be something must be done. Because if we keep on this way, people may lose interest completely. In the army. And while the elderly ones are retiring, there will be no one to join the army again. So, and that will put us into more trouble. Okay? So this is, as we are in the middle of the war now, this is the time to intercept the situation. Create, a solution. That solution must report to authority. That authority must ensure that the solution is enhanced and is delivered. You understand? Every step, just like India attacked Pakistan.
Pakistan, yeah.
Okay, 2 days ago, right?
Yes.
2 days ago, using the there's this what they call it now. They use this missile. They use, is it the Bahat? I can't remember the name of the missile now. You feed in the information in the missile. Okay, it does not fail. The coordinates, once you get the coordinate and every location, you feed it in the missile and you launch it. They say it has a 99.999% of hitting the target, and it hit the government seat of Pakistan and brought it to shred.
With precision.
Yes, with precision. Brought it to shred completely. Just to send a message that, this is it. This is where we're coming from. This is what is going. And immediately they did that. They came back and monitored the Indian Ocean and discovered that there was a Chinese ship on the Indian Ocean. The Indian call it, there's a name they call it. There's a name the Chinese call it. They said the ship is for research. But the Indian said it's not for research, that it monitors marine formations. They possibly is to monitor the Indian Navy and all that. So why is the ship coming 2 days after the Indians are now on that with the Chinese, on diplomatic conversation as to why that ship will be sent. So security issues are, see, you don't take chances. The moment they spot it, the moment they spot it in Indian Sea, they have to use their own gadget and have to scan it, to scan the intention. What is it here for? What is it doing? What's the assignment? They were able to intercept the assignment, what they were doing really. And that is it's not all connected with the strike on Pakistan.
And here we're even talking about external adversaries here. We're not even talking about internal, enemy that's fighting within the country. But but I'd love us to talk on the welfare of military personnel in Nigeria. And I'd love my editor to, if possible, play the two sides of the same people. One is the video of Nigerians enlisted in the U.S. Army having the best of meal, and Nigerian military personnel serving with the Nigerian military equally having a meal for themselves. I just hope that our editor would let that play. So while we watch that, Barrister, I'd love you to speak to the issue of welfare. Because in that particular viral video, we saw Nigerians enlisted in the U.S. Army. In fact, they were literally speaking broken English, right, while having the best meal, the best of all meal. And on the other side of the divide, we have Nigerians serving with the Nigerian military, having the worst of all meals. So why do we think that
is where the incentive starts from? A man that is fighting war, that is protecting the corporate integrity of a country, you understand? Food to eat, befitting meal to eat should not be a problem. If you have to go and break down all you have as a country to provide meal for them, go and do it. Because you will have no country if they are not there. There will be no country to fall back to if they are not there. So you see, it's very painful. It's like our prisons too. Okay, the kind of food they give them there, because they feel if you're in prison, you don't have rights any longer. That's not true. Okay, so the military from medicals, have you seen the ones that got injured during that have been abandoned?
Very true.
Many of them, one is his whole legs.
Limbs are all cut off.
All gone. All gone.
Yes.
Then it's abandoned there.
Yes.
So what kind of a story is that? What kind of narrative? What really are you doing? So I mean, the heads of the Nigerian military, they need to be thoroughly investigated. Many of them need to go. Many of them need to go because they are part of the problem of these soldiers. The junior soldiers, the foot soldiers, if you listen to them, all of them are eager to fight and win the war. Yes. Many of them are eager to do exploits. Yes. But when you look at the kind of meal they give them, the kind of condition they subject them to, they will go and look for water themselves. Yes. They will go and look for food themselves. They will go and look, before you know, they are exhausted. You understand? They are supposed to be pampered. What is food? Food is not, shouldn't be a problem for a country. In the US, I know that when you see a US soldier, you will see professionalism. Everything complete in one person. Everything complete in one person. That is why the quality of their delivery and output is very high. It's very high. If I saw the M16, the ones that were deployed to kill Osama bin Laden then. Very young. I think the oldest among them was about 32. All others were in their 20s, okay? And the kind of gadget they had, the operation itself, they had to build the helicopter. They made the helicopter for that purpose, okay? Just like they built the Tucano jets for us. They made a helicopter for that purpose. They deploy all technologies. I mean, technologies that are not known to any other region is what they use, so that they are not easily tracked and all that. It has all the repellent to make sure that the way is clear, the operation is swift, they don't waste time. Even when one of them crashed, they took that one out immediately, exploded, did all they did, and they made sure that they left the place in good time. So that is what we expect. We are not building aircrafts in Nigeria, okay? But we have foot soldiers who are good in battle, who have won awards all over the country, all over places they go for peacekeeping mission and all that. So if we have that talent, I mean, there was a time I think I read in The Economist or one of the magazines then, the Nigerians have one of the best infantry in the world.
Yes.
Okay? that we have that advancing and all that. So that is given that we're also very fit people. Okay, so why don't we always have institutional failures? And that institutional failure is the reason we have been reduced to nothing. Our soldiers have been reduced to nothing. Okay, it's even very easy to join the U.S. Army, because all you need to do is to be within the age. Okay, be within the age. As long as I think 45 is the benchmark. Yes, 45 below you can join at any age and all that, and you just go apply to the nearest point of call. You know, they won't advertise it on the internet for you to join.
Yes.
Once you qualify, you join. You don't need to pay any money to anybody to get in there and all that. Here, you have to go and pay money. You pay money, you get enlisted, and at the end of the day, they mess up everything. And please, they need to. This our country. We need to do something about it. This is very horrible.
Now let's talk about, just before we leave, let's talk about the relationship between the military and the community they operate in, the environment they do their duty. Lots of times we've seen communities not really loving the military, not because they do not love them, but because they have seen them as enemies. What do you think is the best route the Nigerian military can use to gain the confidence of the people? A very classical example during the NSAS protest in Lagos that we witnessed. After the mayhem that happened at the toll gate and people came out, there was supposed to be chaos all over the place. I guess the military at that point, you know, had a rethink and started appeasing to the people, and that made people go back, and it discontinued. So what do you think the military can do, especially in this black sports, such that they can win back the confidence of the people, so their operations can be...
The people must see them defending them. People must see the military defending the people. Okay, they must see that willingness in them. They must see the swift reaction. The people must see how comforting they can be. During one of the hurricane that happened in the U.S.,
yes,
there was one picture or video that was made. That picture where a U.S. Army was carrying a woman, you know, and it was adjudged one of the best picture of the year then. How he rescued the woman from water and all that, and the rest of that. So if you have that kind of situation where the military, they're able to bond with the people, and the people see them advancing their cause, the people will have no rethink. But in Jos and in some places, they've seen military work against them. They've seen the military work against them. They've seen the military ask them to go to places where they ought not to go to. They attack there. They've seen the military deceive them. So when that happened, the eyewitness account of people, you know, when that happened, there's no way the people will come to them for anything. The people would rather don't want to see them again. So to buy the trust of the people, let the people see you working for them. Let the people see you addressing their needs. You know, cater for them. Give them the right information. Tell them what they ought to do. Protect them, shield them, guard their community. Make sure you are there applying the military skills to protect them. That's what you are trained to do. True. But if you are not doing that, you leave them. After they finish attacking them, that's when you arrive. Then maybe you miss. So they will not trust. They will not even want to talk to you as a military, because they know that you may use information against them. So trust is something that is earned. You can't just come and say because you are military, therefore you should be trusted. No. It doesn't work like that. You have to earn it. They have to see you earn it. And that's the only way you can be trusted. Very,
very true. I think the Nigerian military could learn a little bit from the Burkinabes. The administration of Ibrahim Traore once in a while organize football matches, soccer matches with the communities. You know, they go around organizing soccer matches with the communities, you know, and they enjoy themselves. And with that, they were able to win the trust of the people, yeah. And equally do a lot of other things. I guess there's a reason why in the military, people from all disciplines are called to join. Engineers, scientists, carpenters, whatever, such that if there's a need in the community, they can go fix it. If there's a broken bridge somewhere, the military could come, engineers from the formation could come, fix those bridges, and make that happening. I do not know if we've seen that from Nigerian military anytime in the past.
Yeah, there is. I mean, the Air Force, they have all professions, all of them, are welders are in the Air Force. Every profession you talk about, carpenters, all of them, they are in there. That's why most of their activities they do it in-house. They have their in-house formation, they do everything in-house. Because truly, that's how the military should be. You should not be calling people from outside into the barracks all the time because it's a security breach issue, a security risk situation, they call it. You don't bring a so that's why they are self-sustaining, they are self-sufficient. They do their things within the rank and files of their own formation.
Very true. So we have to leave it at that. As much as thousands of Nigerian youths have told themselves they won't join or be part of our military, but I think it's still very important that we understand the importance of the military. Without defense, without security for any nation, then that nation is as good as gone. And I think it's very important that we should, of course, lend our hands to supporting the military and ensure that Nigeria stands strong. Thank you so very much, Pastor Fansufeli.
My pleasure.
For being here. All right, that's just about the time we have for today, and I hope you enjoyed our show just like I did right here. Please do well to follow us if you may. You can actually read up on everything we have talked about when you visit us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like and equally follow us and rewatch what we've done today when you visit us at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. Thank you so very much and have yourself a splendid weekend. Bye-bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.